What's up, Star Crew? I feel I need to make a video today. It's Super Barbie Star Mom, by the way, and I need to put a video out there because I'm concerned about humanity, about our civilization, about the humans. There's stuff that's going on that's like kind of freaking me out because I feel like I'm being gaslit or something. Okay, so let me just get into it. But before I do, please subscribe to my channel, or share, or share the video, comment, all that good stuff. So last video I made, I was talking about the Carmelo Anthony story. If you don't know what that story is, it's a story about a kid that stabbed another kid at a track meet. What had happened is this kid was under a tent that was for another team at a track meet. He was asked to leave several times by the people under the tent. He wouldn't leave, and the team captain or whatever got confrontational with him and pushed him. And he stabbed him in the heart and killed him. Kid died right there on the spot. What happened is the whole thing turned into a big race thing because the kid who stabbed him was black and the victim was white. So if you want to know about that story, you'll have to look at that video because that's a whole nother thing. But now there's something else that's all in the news that I'm seeing all over, social media and stuff, and you're probably hearing about it too, and that is the Nolan Wells story. Okay, so this story is another teen losing his life. Nolan Wells is a kid that on the 4th of July, he went to an island. It's like off the coast of Mississippi. It's like one of those little islands that you go and dock your boat and swim and whatever. So he went there with a group of friends on a boat. He was 18 years old. Same thing as I don't know, Austin Metcalf might have been 17. But Carmelo Anthony was 18 and is now 19. And he's doing 30 years, by the way, for that. But they are appealing, or they filed for an appeal or something. Anyways, with the Nolan Wells story, he went out on a boat with his friends and did not return. Friends came back. Everybody came back. Nolan was not with them. There's all kinds of stories about why. There's all these, conspiracies, and I even think that the people that were there have different accounts of what happened. But long story short, a kid went out on a boat with his friends, did not return home, and was found dead 2 days later. They suspect a drowning. Now, what is true, verifiable facts, and what is hearsay, I can't say for sure because you can't trust anybody. I mean, they've got their attorney, Ben Crump, is, and I'm all for that. I'm all about getting, people that are activists and stuff involved. It's just, I think, and here's where my concern comes in. I don't know if you know who Ben Crump is, but he represented George Floyd, his family with the Derek Chauvin, when George Floyd was killed or died or whatever your belief is. Some people say he died of a fentanyl overdose. Some people say he was killed by Chauvin, whatever his name is, Chauvin. I saw the video. I don't know, he might have been on drugs, but he certainly didn't die on that ground from a drug overdose. He died because somebody's knee wasn't, pressing down and he couldn't breathe. But anyhow, so Ben Crump represented him. He's a civil rights attorney, and he is representing the family of Nolan Wells, and Nolan Wells was black. He was a black kid that went out with all his friends, well, not all of his friends, but the kids that he went out with that day were white. He was on a boat with all white kids. Now, he did have black friends that were present that day. They just went out on another boat. They rode out with other people. So all these things are going around, all these, narratives about what happened to him. People are saying, you know, there's people saying that because he was a black kid and he was, you know, the only one on a boat with white kid, the only black kid on the boat with all white kids, that they had to have done something. That concerns me. That concerns me. Because is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing now? Like, if you're white, you automatically are evil, because, and you're automatically, you know, gonna harm a black person? Because that, I'm here to tell you right now, the things that I'm seeing, the videos that I'm seeing where people are on here going on and on and on about, like, you can't let your black kids go with white kids, you can't trust white people are so racist to the core, they're evil to the bone, like all this stuff. And I'm like in shock, because that's not true. That's not true. I'm a white person, okay? I've never experienced anything where anybody wanted to, any of my friends, anything like that, wanted to harm somebody because they're black. That's not what we do. That's not what normal people do. So it concerns me that the entire race is being accused of being that way. Now, there are some particularities on the story that do raise your eyebrow. And that is that the kids came back without him. They didn't tell anybody that he was left behind. They had his phone. They didn't call his parents or anything. However, it said that he told them that he was going to ride back with somebody else. So if they didn't know that there was any reason to be concerned, and they thought he was coming back with another group, then why would they call his parents? You know, they probably thought he was at home. They were probably just waiting for him to contact them and let him know, hey, I'm coming to get my phone. You know, they're saying, oh, it's odd, why would he stay behind without his phone? Well, because he's on an island in water with, you know, at a party in the water. And so most people don't get in the water with their phone. But I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. All I know is this: something messed up could have happened. Those boys could be evil. They could be totally racist. I'm here to tell you, though, that not all white people are like that. You can't just assume that that's what's up, because it's not. But so that could have happened. But here's the concern for me, is that it's being put out there that that's for sure what happened. That's fact. And there's people coming online. I mean, I'm going to show you her, because she said some stupid shit with the Carmelo Anthony. It's Jasmine Crockett. I mean, really? I'm just gonna put her on here. I'm gonna show you a little snippet, and you can just see for yourself. Like, not a very smart lady, and very, very racist. Very racist. For people to sit there and say all white people are racist and all white people are out to harm black people, that's racist. That is racist, and it's not true. It's simply not true. The way I was brought up, race really was not relevant. It was not relevant. The color of your skin had no significance on anything as far as our connection, our relationship, you know. I was not taught. I didn't even know there was a thing. I didn't even know that racism. I remember my dad having to tell me what racism was, because I didn't know. And it blew my mind. It blew my mind when he told me. I'm like, people don't like people because of their skin color? What? I didn't understand. So that's what my concern is, because, you know, I don't like being lumped in with bad people that are I'm not racist. I don't like being lumped in with, you know, all white people are this way. Oh, you can't tell me how I am. You don't get to do that. That's not how I am. And now, those particular boys, I don't know them. That's just it, though. You know, the people making all these accusations, they don't know them either. I mean, it seemed to me like the parents of Nolan Wells were not really thinking, they weren't really thinking it was racist either, but now they're getting convinced because there's so many people telling them, oh, that's what you get for letting your black kid go with white kids. It's frightening to me, because it's like, where's society going? Are we regressing? You know, I thought that we had reached a place where we were essentially equal. I mean, I know that there's some, you know, nuances there where I get it, you know, that there are structures and things, you know, historical elements that play into the way things are for today for certain members of our society. But I think that we've come a long way. So that's why I wanted to put this out there. Going back to the Carmelo Anthony, the father of the victim, Austin Metcalf, has been accused of being racist. Now, he did get online and say some really like inappropriate things, like he was trolling. He was trolling because he had been accused of being racist. So he got on there and he was like, "You want me to give you something for your headlines? Well, here it is." And then he said a racial slur, which was not okay. I'm not okay with that. I don't think that it was the right decision on his part. I think it gave people what they wanted. But I don't think he's a racist man. And something that he has said that I think is a really good thing to say is that he is prejudiced against assholes. And that's where I stand. There's assholes that come in all colors, shapes, sizes. If you are an asshole, if you're a piece of shit, if you're, you know, not a good person, then I'm prejudiced against you because I don't like those people. I don't like bad people. But all white people aren't bad. All black people aren't bad. All Asian people aren't bad. You know, and so the people that have these mentalities have to stop, or we are not going anywhere. We're going backwards. So that's all I got. I'm going to put some little snippets on here for you to see, and you can draw your own conclusion about things. Please, like I said, like, share, subscribe. Put a comment down there and let me know what your thoughts are. I'm certainly open to other people's ideas. You know, maybe my perspective is my perspective. That's all I have. You know, all I know is being a white person and coming from a white person. We're all not out to. I mean, the narrative that all white people are like that is not okay because it's not true. So anyhow, that's all I got. Leave your comments. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Woman, I wanted to get your thoughts on the Nolan Wells investigation. Some people feel like it's racially motivated. What do you think?
I mean, I think that specifically as Black Americans in the United States right now, we are always going to question whether or not there is a racial motivation, but also, if you know the history of Mississippi, I think that you'd have to be blind not to question potentially what is happening, especially in the case of an 18-year-old who ends up deceased prior to ending up deceased, and he was out with his Caucasian friends, and then law enforcement tells everybody there's no foul play to be suspected. I mean, I can't say what even the cause of death really is, but I can tell you that race is absolutely playing a role. What role? Whether it had to do with his death, whether it had to do with the fact that maybe your friends left you to die, or your friends didn't care that maybe you did die. I do believe that there's a racial component, or if it's just in law enforcement not feeling as if Nolan Wells was worthy of an actual investigation, but instead decided that there was no foul play, seemingly with no evidence, without talking to any witnesses.
I have to interject and say that she is incorrect on what the sheriff said. The sheriff did not say that there is no foul play. He said that at this point in the investigation, we do not suspect foul play. To me, there's a very, very big difference because he wasn't saying it definitively like she's framing. Also, she's saying that how could he come out and say we don't suspect foul play with no evidence whatsoever? Well, how can she say that for sure race has something to do with it when there's no evidence of that whatsoever?
That to me is where there are racial components to this for sure. But I will not say that I know for sure that race played a role in his death. There are racial components to this for sure. But I will not say that I know for sure that race played a role in his death.
Again, bro, and I'm going to tell you, here's what's going on, man. and I want people to hear me clearly. With both sides are at odds like this. For people that are not prejudiced, they now coming across as prejudiced because they getting slammed so hard for being prejudiced, and they like, I ain't prejudiced, and then it makes them say stuff and lash back out at you. That's the human side in an individual. So the human side is lashing out and saying some things that they wouldn't ordinarily say. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
This case is just all over the place, man.
Well, everybody that I've talked to, everybody online that tell me I live out there, we travel to Horn Island, we live out there, and it's not racist. It's very diverse. Everybody's mixed up. Everybody living their life. Racism is not a consistent thing in our community. And I felt like Benjamin Crump came in there, and instead of saying, let's get to the bottom of what happened to Nolan, he want to push this town, we know the history of this, and it just caused these problems to exist that don't exist. I'm going to pass it to you. What's your experience living there, bro? You live there. We don't. What's your experience?
You know what, officer? Changing people to get them see the truth and to get them to change, it's going to always be the hardest thing in life. I've been here all my life, all right? You're going to always have racists that walks among you. Like I tell people, that's why Jesus Christ suffered, bled, and died for us on the cross. Ain't nothing you can do about that. What Benjamin Crump did here in this town was old school. And here's what I mean. Now, he's coming into our city saying, this place, this state, racist, is racist. And it's the state that lynched and killed Emmett Till. That was 71 years ago, sir. 71 years ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Right. Now, there will always be a racist walking around, or two or three. But as an overall consensus, we don't have that problem. And I'm going to prove it to you. So, Emmett Till looked at a woman and died. To nowadays, black men and black women are dating and marrying and having all the freaky fun they want to have with a white person. And a white person is doing the same thing with all the freaky blacks they want to hook up with. Yeah. Right?
Yes.
So how do we still continue to get judged according to the 1960 style of black justice? Why are we still getting charged to the civil rights that was needed back then? What Al Sharpton doing, that was great for the 60s, but that doesn't work in today's black America. This is the new black America. You have more 25 and under black millionaires than anywhere. You have more black women are the number one college graduates, from my understanding. I could be wrong, but from my understanding, black women are the number one college graduate. So how can you keep coming down here to our state and keep telling us that we're not who we are?
Everybody wants to scream about racism without talking about the real daggum issue: character. Every race has salt of the earth people, just good, common sense, down to the earth people. And every race also has the embarrassments to society, the degenerates. Every race has men and women out here busting their asses, raising their families, building businesses, helping in their communities, just trying to make the world just a little bit better than what it was when they came into it. And every race also has people who are loud, ignorant, violent, lazy, dysfunctional, addicted to victimhood, and allergic to accountability. That's not a skin color problem. That is a failure of character problem. And I am so sick and tired of people acting like melanin automatically determines morality. Well, I hate to burst your bubble there, sugar tits, because trash comes in every damn color. Because I have met black people who have more honor, discipline, and integrity in their pinky finger than some white people do in their whole entire bloodline. I've also met Hispanic people who would give me the shirt off their back, while other people would be out here robbing their grandma for a damn cigarette. I've met Asians, Indians, people from other backgrounds and ethnicities who are just salt of the earth people. And in those same ethnicities and backgrounds, I've met useless pieces of shit as well. Because being garbage isn't exclusive to one skin tone. To anybody who is out here running around and being disrespectful and hateful to people for no damn reason, and you want to hide behind the free speech, you are trash. All you're doing is pouring gasoline onto the division that we already have. You are making this world more toxic. Some of y'all people weaponize racism as a shield from accountability every time somebody calls you out for your bad behavior. Bad behavior exists in every race. Violence exists in every race. Trash, it exists in every race. Your skin color does not make you honorable. Your character.
She is absolutely right.